Do you ever see a text, mean to reply to it, and then minutes or hours or days go by, or maybe forever goes by and you don't? And maybe you are telling yourself, as I used to, that it's no big deal. But what if it is? What if it's a really big deal? What if it's costing you dearly, big time? What if it's actually an unintentional way of telling other people, the universe, your higher self, the creator, to F off? Well, stay with me because I'm going to show you here why you do it. And I know because I used to do it, why you do it, what it's costing you, and even better, how to fix it. All right. And please feel free at any point, drop into the comments a question, whatever platform you're on. If you're watching by rebroadcast, same thing. I'm happy to come back and look at it. So, what's it really costing you? I used to rationalize it myself and say not that much, but relationships absolutely are suffering. There's no way around it. People they feel ignored. They trust us less. Opportunities fade away. Right? It sends a message, especially when it goes for more than right. And let's keep in mind, different mediums have different rhythms. Text, right? It's really, generally speaking, less than 24 hours, less than, I don't know what the magic number is. It's different for everybody, but probably less than 8 hours, probably less than 4 hours. It's really about the energy of, hey, I care that you reached out to me and I care so much I'm responding to you. Now, hang in there because we'll get to solutions, and there are some, because I can hear you already saying, well, what if I'm really occupied? I don't want to be on my phone all the time. And what if I'm focused on? Those are good questions. Those are important things. Absolutely. What else, though, is it costing you? Your energy. It's costing you your energy, and your energy is everything in your life, right? Whenever we see something and don't respond, it's an open loop. What's that called in psychology? The Zygote effect or something like that, studied by a study of waiters and waitresses, that they have this uncanny ability to remember what everybody ordered and what they have until they close the tab, until they close the check, and then they forget about it. Why? Because when we know we might need this information, we hold it, right? And so when we know that there's something to respond to, it's in there. And even worse, if it's because there's a decision to be made. We'll get to that in depth soon too, right? And then last thing I'll say for now about what it's costing you is flat out money, success, business, wealth. Not only do opportunities fade away, not only does it hurt relationships, which of course hurts in terms of business and health, it also is contrary to a principle in the universe that success and wealth love speed. So get this though, the big realization, the big thing you can take away from this is to do with your approach to life, right? Where else in your life do you delay? Do you avoid stuff? Right? The way we do one thing is the way we do everything. Okay. So now why? What's the cause of this? What's getting in the way of actually responding? One, this is, in my opinion, the most common one I see with clients: fear of self-judgment, right? It's self-judgment like, did I get it right? Am I good enough? Will they accept me? Will they be happy with it? Right? Now, I know that might sound like, well, no, come on, it can't be that. And it isn't always, right? Sometimes it's, well, I don't want to say no. I don't want to hurt their feelings, right? Or, but even that, actually, it's self-judgment. It's like, who does that make me? I'm somebody who hurts their feelings, or I'm afraid they're going to judge me and think I'm selfish. Well, any projection of judgment is also our own self-judgment, right? So, and we'll come back to this one because it's that fear of self-judgment is getting in the way of so many things in life. Everything. Okay, everything we want. Now, what else? Fear of making the wrong decision. What if I commit to this and it's not the right thing? Or, right, what if I commit to this and then I miss out on this other thing that comes up later? Right? Here's the thing. We're better off to make a bad decision than no decision. 99% of the 99% of the time. Why is that? Because when we avoid the decision, it's like getting constipated, right? It's like it's a mental, emotional, psychic, spiritual constipation, and we get blocked up, and new things can't come to us. We're not moving. We get heavier. Another one is the fear that we talked about, the fear that we'll miss out. We talked about the fear of making the wrong decision, right? There was another one, but I've lost it. So let's move on. Oh, well, actually, no, let's get this one. Guilt and obligation, right? I don't know what to say, right? I don't know what to say. They want something from me. Ooh, there it is. Thank you. That's the one I was looking for. They want something from me, and I don't want to give it, right? So for me, that's one that I've had many times in the past, and it still comes up sometimes. Don't get me wrong. I get that, and I'm like, and now one of the ways I train myself is, wait, how can I say yes? How can I say yes to the universe? How can I say yes to everybody in my life? Right? And doesn't mean that I always give what they're asking for, right? It does mean that I receive. I'm so grateful that they asked me. I respond, right? I look inside and say, how could I help them, right? If I'm not going to, buy my daughter a new car, what is the thing that I can do to help her with that, right? And that does so much for us, because the more we are oriented toward love and service, the better we feel, the better everything works in our lives. And also the more the people in our lives say, okay, they love me. They're saying yes to me, to my request. All right. So key point with all of these, though, is change your focus from delay. This isn't about texting or phone calls. By the way, the whole thing could apply to phone calls. It's about your ability to make a decision and to act. So many times the not responding, it's just avoidance. And I love this line. Thinking is the hardest work most people don't do, right? And in James Allen's getting things done methodology, he says this great. It's like, why do we put things off? Why do we procrastinate? Generally speaking, well, it's because we don't want to deal with it, right? We don't want to think about it. So the bad news is, well, if you want to stop procrastinating, if you want to have more success, more money, better relationships, then you actually do have to think about it. It's true. We have to think about it. Good news, though, really good news, is think about it way less than we're afraid of, right? And you know this. You've had this experience. I'm sure you have many times where, I'll speak for myself. Fair enough. I put it off. And then I do it, look at it, attend to it. And I'm like, why didn't I do this sooner? This was so much easier, so much faster than I thought. Side note, fasting, physical fasting, so helpful for this. It's part of why I do it regularly. All right. We are cruising along. So let's get to, what do we do with this? How do we fix this situation? Hopefully by now you're with me like, yeah, I do have a tendency to do that, at least sometimes, certain circumstances. I get that no matter how I rationalize it, it is actually messing things up for me, costing me in some really big ways. Now, so what to do? Be quick and respond. If you can respond in less than a minute, do it. Oh, that gets us right into a next important point, though. Do you hang on your phone all the time, right? You're sending an email, you're talking to someone, you're having dinner with a family. Ding! No, I don't recommend doing that, right? Not most of the time. There probably are some good times in your life where you can have your alerts on or your ringer on, whatever it is, so that you're like, all right, I'm in the mode, I'm open, let's go, bring it on, respond. That can be really cool and fun. And there are other times when, for your best, most vibrant, thriving life, you're not at the whim of other things coming in. You are focused. Like right now, I'm sharing with you, I'm not checking text, right? It's on do not disturb for sure. Count on it. When I'm having dinner with friends, I'm not looking at my phone, right? When I'm creating, as I was thinking about what I wanted to share with you today, I'm not looking at it. So what do? I schedule it periodically, batch it. And what does that mean then? It means, okay, when I'm batching it, okay, I'm going to attend to all my messages or as many as I can in this window, right? And sometimes there's a lot of them and I'll spend half an hour and I don't respond to everything. So here are some guidelines, rules, principles to build a system that works for you with this. One, when you are in the mode of responding, if you can respond quickly, do it. And by the way, quickly, what do I mean by that? Short duration. If you can respond in less than a minute, just do it right then. If it's something you're like, ooh, I need to think about that. I don't know. How can we do that? What with timing? I'll have to check with Jenny about that. Right? Because there are some messages like that. What do you do then? Some important things. One, acknowledge that you got it. Emojis are really good for that. Click. I love that you sent me that message. They know that I got it, that I saw it. Second, figure out a way that you know you will come back to it. So you can schedule it if you need to, put it on your list. I do that often. I have a list that I have running that says people to call back or text back because just I want to make sure I don't forget. Because remember when we said earlier, it costs you energy? Those, like that loop. Oh, I got to remember that. Oh, I got to remember that. Ooh, like every time it goes up, it takes energy. So if we have a system where we know, that's why I make a list. And schedule it, system batching. Wait, do we talk about all the pieces? Oh, one more. Become more succinct. And I know if any of my coaches are laughing or watching this, they're laughing at me because I tend to say more and I am learning to say less, create more. And also important, when there are the fear of judgment that I spoke about earlier, when that is what's blocking the way, note that, celebrate that, put that on your list of, ooh, I'm afraid of this. I have a judgment about that, whether it's fear of disappointing someone else or not being lovable. Like, train yourself to look more deeply. What's really going on? What's underneath this? And in other places, I share more about how to deal with the judgment. You'll see I have a new free training coming out on that soon, why affirmations fail and what to do about it. So in any case, for now, though, if you got a question or a thought, please put it in the comments. Ask a question. I'm happy to be in discussion. And does this resonate? Or are you the kind of person that, boom, you nail it and you feel 100% awesome about the way you deal with communications? Or is there part of you that somehow this isn't always working for? All right, y'all, I hope that is helpful. I love that you were here. You are awesome. I love you. See you later.